Hello all, my name is Piotr and I build Ru guitars. I was reading a post on one of the guitar building groups on Facebook about lowering the stakes when you work on something new especially. And I changed my mind about the process. So instead of gluing on the fretboard to do the inlays, I thought that I would lower the stakes by working on the fretboard alone, so that if I ruin the fretboard, it's just the fretboard that I have to replace, not the entire neck, because ungluing the fretboard and replacing it is a completely different story. So I'm going to leave the neck on the side for now and the body, and I'm going to focus on the neck. I will be cutting the inlays today, and yeah, I'll show you the process. So I had a delivery of the resin. Let's see what it looks like. Right, so it's a two-part resin, fast cure epoxy. I've never used it before. I don't have much experience with resin. Apparently this is a good stuff, and I also have these this pearl pigments mica powder. This is supposed to be very black. So yeah, charcoal. So what I'm planning on doing is cutting out blocks with copper blade and chisels, and then when they're ready, fill them in with black epoxy. This is not your typical process that you would use to do inlays on the neck. You would buy inlays, put them on in places you want them, cut very precisely around them, dig them out, and then glue them in. I'm not doing that because I'm going for a very specific shape. You may remember from the first video, if you watched it, I am doing big blocks, but those blocks will follow the edge of the neck on both sides, and will be exactly the same distance from the binding as they will be from the fret and the nut. So I need to measure everything very precisely. I need to check with the plan if it was 3mm or 4mm, I can't remember. So the fret wire that I bought is 2mm, just over 2. 2 is fine. So I need to measure the distance between the marker and the edge of the fret, well, the future edge of the fret. So I need to remember to leave 1 more millimeter on the side of a fret, on either side of the marker, to precisely have the same distance all around each of the markers. Otherwise it will look off. So looking at the plan, this is 3mm. So 3 millimeters on all sides of each marker. So what does that mean in practice? We've got binding on either side of the neck, and from that line I can draw and mark 3mm line. The same goes for the nut, because this is where the nut is. so 3 mil from there. But for each thread I need to do 4 mil, because as I said, the thread wire is 2 mil, so 1 mil on either side of the thread slot, plus the 3 mil for the clearance, so 4 mil from each thread, but otherwise 3 mil from the binding and from the nut. So let's mark which position I will be digging out, and I think I'm gonna go with the first thread as well, like Les Paul Custom, for example. It's got the first marker, so first, third, fifth, 7th, 9th, 10, 11, 12th. This is the 12th. There will be no difference in the 12th thread. I'm not going to do anything different. They're all going to be just blocks. Okay, so these are the threads that need marking, and I have to be very precise here. If I misalign anything, it will just look off and it will drive me crazy. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a fresh scalpel blade, and now I need to mark a line 3 millimeters off the edge. So this is 3, and this is 3 now. Nope, too far. 3. I am going to tape it in place. Otherwise I'm sure I'll move it and it will ruin everything. This is 3. And this is 3. No, come on. 3 and 3, perfect. Right, so let's mark the threads that I need, and I'm gonna score the entire length of the thread, basically, because this is radiused anyways, so this will be sanded out. I'm not worried that I will leave a mark beyond the actual marker. This is first. I'm going to do a few shallow passes rather than one deep again, because scalpel blade is very flimsy and it likes to wander around if you press it hard. Okay, so that's this side marked. I hope you can see that there is a line scored following the edge of the neck on each marker. So this is the line that I will cut to. I need to do the other side and then threads. So let's measure it and let's cut it. So it's 3 mil. And that is 3 mil precisely. Okay, let's do it. So this is 21st. And so on. Beautiful. Right, so now I need the distance from the nut to the mark to be 3 mil. This is 3 mil. And if I take the center line, I can mark the front of the, or the back of the first marker. Not really pressing the scalpel very much because it would just go off. So yeah, I hope you can see that, but this is 3 mils from the nut to the marker, and that's 3 mil from the marker to the binding. And this side will need to be 4 mil because the fret is 2 mil in total, so it will cover 1 millimeter of the fret slot, and then 3 mil from that line will be the marker. So let's do 4 mil first. This is 4 millimeters, and I'll do the same with the center line. Try not to move it this time. Great, so we've got the edge of the marker, and 4 millimeters down is the fret wire. If I put the fret wire here, it will give us 3 millimeters all around the marker. This is exactly what I'm after. Let's do the rest of them, I guess. I'll start with this end. This is going to be a very narrow inlay, but that's the 21st fret, so yeah, it is what it is. There it is, 21st fret, tiny inlay, very narrow. This is exactly what I'm after. All the markers are now cut in the fretboard, well, marked. I will double and triple check the measurements, of course, because once I start digging them out, there will be no coming back. So I need to make sure that these measurements are correct. So starting with the edge, 3 mil here, 3 mil here, so that means that all of them should be 3 mil. 3 mil it is. Same here. Perfect. 3 mil from the nut line, and it is 3 mil. Very good. And 4 mil from the fret slot. for all of them. This one is 3.5 mil. Oh no, okay. Oh no. Okay. This one is unfortunately 3.5 mil. So it's too close to the fret. I have to mark it further down and cut it correctly, but that means that I'm risking ripping the wood towards the 3.5. Yeah. This is tricky. Let's check the other ones. Okay. Is this going to be an issue? Well, now that I know that it's there, I can see it. Probably wouldn't be able to see it if I didn't know it was there. So it's this marker, 1/357. It's got 3.5 mil on one side and 4 mil on the other side. So this side is incorrect. I'm gonna have to move it. Not sure what the best way to do it safely would be. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it for now. I've done some tests on the scrap piece of the fretboard, but I need to work on it a bit more to be comfortable with doing it. So the problem I'm having is that the marker is too wide in one place by 0.5 mil. It seems tiny, but it isn't. It's 0.5 millimeter. So if you have a difference between 4 and 3.5, you will clearly see it. Well, I will clearly see it. So I want to fix that. But the problem is that I need to go inside of the marker, leaving the original score line outside of the perimeter. So every time I go in with a chisel, I'm risking chipping that little bit of wood between two markings, basically. They're not deep, they're maybe 1/10 of a mil, but still it will rip. I'm going to leave that for now. I'm going to work on other threads first, and then when I'm comfortable with working on this wood, I will try to approach that to hopefully cause minimal damage. So what I'm going to do with all this is using my scalpel blade to score the line deeper. Now that I checked the measurement, I'm going to use a few chisels. This tiny 3 mil chisel will be very handy here. This is 6 mil. It's very sharp as well. This is my 12 mil is too big for that. So these two chisels, and I'm going to use a dremel router. I'm going to work on the outline with chisels and the scalpel blade to make it absolutely perfect and straight. And when I've got the edges done, I can come in with a dremel router and just route out the rest. So the other approach would be to route it out first and then chisel sides straight. And I may try that, because this might be actually better. Yeah, so I think I'll do one thread with one method, another thread with the other method, and I will decide which one to use for the rest of them. Okay, what I've got here are my new tiny chisels from Crimson. They come in 4 sizes. This one is 2mm. This one is 0.2mm at the very tip. I'm going to try using the 2mm. I need to just drop it a bit. Okay, so this is how far I got with one inlay. These edges are the important ones. The rest will be routed out with the dremel, and I think I'll try that now. Okay, so this is third fret marker. It's routed out with the Dremel, and all there's left to do is cleaning it up to those lines around. It's quite close, but it's actually on the line, so it should be fine. But the rest, yeah, shouldn't be difficult. Okay, this is what it looks like now. I need to make sure that these walls are straight all the way down, not just at the top where the sharp line is, but all the way down, because I'll be sanding radius. I'll be sanding this down first, and then I will be sanding radius. So if that wall is straight at the very top, but it goes in the further down you go, this will show up when I sand the radius in. So it has to be straight. This is taking forever. I will not make you watch me do this with all the rest of the markers. I'm just going to go for it. So these are the fret markers cut, except for this one and this one. For some reason I need to go back and do that, but this one I'll leave for later. I want to get some practice in chiseling very precisely first before I tackle that one. And the last one, surprise, surprise, it's just too narrow for the router bit. Maybe you can see it here. I tried touching it with the router bit, and it's exactly the size of the marker. And because it's a Dremel on a plastic base, it likes to wander around, so I don't want to ruin it. So I will be digging this one out by hand, just like I started here. And then the fun bit, chiseling out all of them. Yay! So I've been doing this for a while. I've squared up these three, and I started digging out this one. But I think I found a solution to this marker, and also a couple issues that I had along the way. Since I'm learning how to do it precisely and getting used to the chisel and all that, I think that by the time I dig all these out properly, I will be confident enough to make a correction, and I decided to go 1/2 mil bigger on all sides except for this one here, which is already the correct size. So the markers will be not 3 mil but 2.5 mil from the binding and 3.5 mil from the thread center, and that will sort of keep the consistent size, but will help me fix issues like this one here. There's another one, yeah, it's this marker here, where I went in with the wrong angle and it sort of dug in under the line. So when I sand the surface, this wrong angle will actually reveal. And there's wrong angle here as well. So there's a few places where I'm not very happy with what happened. So expanding by 1/2 mil should sort it out. Having said that, I'm gonna have to be very careful going the 1/2 mil out, because it will be tricky to mark, but then it will be very tricky to cut. But we'll get to that later. Now I need to carry on with these. And I'm not a big fan of hitting the chisel with a hammer, but this method seems to be working really well to cut the initial line. I need to set the chisel right on the line, and I mean right on the line. And when I hit it a few times, it cuts straight line down, and it's easier to cut it out straight later. So this line further down here should just cut the entire thing off, because there's not much material left here. So let's see. Like here, for example. Super straight. Yeah, so it cuts the whole thing off. I want to avoid that. I want to cut it off by hand, but marking it like this is actually perfect. Yeah, that looks really good. And right now I'm going with the bigger chisel to get close to the edge. I'm not taking much material at once. Okay, so this is messed up. So I placed the chisel on the line and I hit it with a hammer, and the entire side of this fell off. So I'm gluing it back on with thin super glue. I don't think it's a big issue. I don't think it will be visible when I sand it and radius the neck, so that shouldn't be a problem. It's just annoying because it was going so well, and suddenly this happens. There are some missing bits, but I can fix them with the dust and glue later on. That's not a problem. Lines should not be visible because they follow grain. That's why it broke. Yeah, I just need to glue it in place. Thin super glue. I've used it several times now in places where the grain was just lifting up, and to stop it from tearing out further, I would just put some super glue there. And hold it in place for a while. It's not a big deal. It's like it happens. This wood is very brittle. I knew that from the start, so I was ready for surprises like this one. But it's not ideal, is it? So this tells me that I will not get any further this week because I'm starting to rush things, and this is never good. This needs to be done very precisely, very slowly, and it's just gonna take time. Okay, I'll leave it at this. As I said, this is not a big deal. There'll be binding on the side, and the top I will be filling in with dust and super glue and then sanding it anyways. So any divots, any imperfections really in the fretboard will be hidden. Not like I like to hide stuff. It's just this wood is really brittle, and this will be happening. So I will not get any further this week. Next week I will still have 3 markers to dig out, and this one to sort out. Well, from the start I need to use dremel first and then chisel it out, and then I will go in and expand markers by 0.5 mil. So that they're all the same size, the same distance from the fret and from the binding. It's not a big difference, 0.5 mil, but well, I can see it when I look at the marker that is 0.5 mil closer than others. I can tell. Even if it's not visible, I'd still know. So I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna do this. And then I can start looking into filling them in with epoxy. And this is an entirely new process for me. I've never worked with epoxy like this. I only used epoxy to glue stuff together or to glue stuff in, like those stiffening rods are glued in with epoxy. It's really stiff. It is not going anywhere. I love it. It's just a different type of procedure. Well, it's a different procedure altogether. So I'm gonna have to mix it, add this, what is it, mica powder, pigment, and do some tests before I put it in the fretboard. I've got this offcut from the fretboard that I can use to do a test pour. And we'll see. It's all fun. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for staying with me so far. Yeah, and I'll see you next week. Thank you. Love you, bye.